Slangin The Bizkit, episode 39. We are happy to be back. I'm excited to be back with you from the podcasting casting couch that you see every week. My co-host, Pat Shea, is looking awfully thick like a toaster strudel in that new shirt. We got a guest this week that I have been stringing the carrot along for about, 5 months that you're going to come on the podcast, and we finally got Sean?
Yeah, about 5 months or so. Happy to be on my favorite podcast, boys. Thanks for having me.
Hey, it's my favorite podcast as well. I'm also.
Do you ever see my comments? Do you see my comments that I leave on our podcast and the video episodes on YouTube or no?
I do. Yes. we talk about our podcast like we're not on it, and then we reply to ourselves. It's really funny.
On the first one in there, I leave a comment. I'm like, "Oh my god, this is such a great podcast! I can't believe I found it. I'm so blessed to have a podcast like this available every Thursday at 8 a.m. Eastern. Yeah. Let's go."
You guys change my life every week. Thank you so much.
Will you come on the podcast, Pat? Maybe Trav can get you the podcast.
But nonetheless, NickTheGoalie. NickTheGoalie is here on the podcast finally.
Yeah, the TikTok sensation, the IG guy, the newer YouTuber guy, the guy who can, what is it, you find a coupon that can save more than you? That's the Instagram bio, right?
That's the bio. It's 100% true.
Yeah, you're kind of the TikTok guy though. Like in this group at least. As far as TikTok goes, you're buzzing. When did you start with TikTok? Were you early to it?
Yeah, so I think I hit TikTok in that sweet spot of 2020, like early 2020, where kind of whatever you did just kind of did well. So how it all started was like I did NickTheGoalie in 2018, just posted to YouTube, and it never really went anywhere. And as you guys know, it takes a lot out of you to do hockey videos, and the views weren't kind of there, and it was a lot of work, and I have a job, and it was tough to do it all at once. So I kind of put it on hold for a bit, and then just one day I decided, you know what, I'm going to try it again, but let's try it with TikTok. I threw up a quick video, 3 views, no big deal. Didn't think much of it. Okay, maybe this isn't going to work anymore. And then one day when I was at work, my phone's just like having a seizure, and I look and it's just all these TikTok notifications, and I was like, holy smokes. And it was like at 1,000 views, which was big for me at the time.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, I have all these people coming here and I don't have anything else to show them. So I literally was like, okay, I know I'm at work right now, but I can whip out my laptop. I got my hard drive. I'm going to throw up another video. And then that one just did even better. And then that's when the snowball just kind of started rolling there.
This is on the job though? This is on company time?
On company time.
Yes,
I was like, you know what? This is
focused.
Huge. I gotta. You guys go to work. I'll be back in a couple minutes.
I got a TikTok.
There's a lot of people that. Sorry, go. No, sorry. Go ahead, Pat.
No, I was just being like him. I was like, you guys, hold off. I got a TikTok. Like, I got to go TikTok at the job. It was just flowing. Thank you for making this awkward. Let's go.
I'll take my 50 and just head to the can. He's got his laptop. He's got like the whole extension cord running out from under the door in the bathroom.
That's exactly what it was, pretty much.
On a quick little note before I forget, before we get too far into it, speaking of TikTokers, new people, we got some viewers of the week. Mind if we give a couple little shout outs to some new people on the podcast that are listening?
Shout them out.
Okay, we will do exactly that. So, as always, video version or audio version, if you want to be viewer of the week, commenter of the week, just leave me a comment, send me a message, leave something on the video version on YouTube, and we can make it happen for you. So, Griffin Lane, new viewer, says, love the podcast from Winnipeg. Shout out to you, buddy. We got Mio Lidhammer. I'm terrible with names, as we established last week. He said, I thought the podcast would suck. I gave it a try, and I absolutely love it. So thank you for thinking that we suck, buddy. We're glad we got you on board. Well, Corey Webster. This is his second time being viewer of the week. Shout out to this guy. And he bought a lawnmower with our code. So shout out to you. And then Bill in Yellowknife. He says, I'm the only person in Yellowknife listening to your podcast. Probably. We didn't even know people in Yellowknife knew what podcasts were. But shout out to you, Bill. We're happy to have you listening. So those are our viewers of the week. And again, if you want to be, send me a message. Send Pat a message. It'll probably take Pat like 8 business days to get back to you. But we'll get you on. We'll get you as viewer of the week.
That's a pretty backhanded compliment by that middle guy there. He's like, I thought your podcast would suck, but it's okay. That's like going up to someone like, hey, I don't care what everyone else thinks about you, but you're pretty cool. Like, that's kind of I don't like that.
Hey, a win's a win. A win's a
But
win.
At least we have him on. At least we have him on board now.
I
He's
could be
back.
wrong. I believe he was somebody who was chirping me in the comments. I know there's a lot of them, and then I tell him, "Hey, listen, you hate me. I'll stop commenting these things and stop coming after you if you watch the podcast or the vlog." And I think Mio was one of those people. So shout out to you, buddy. Shout out to anybody listening to the podcast. We've been growing a bit lately, so we appreciate anybody transferring over to come listen to the podcast as always. So anyway,
Nick,
yes.
question: have you experienced this guy on the res, and on YouTube or anywhere? Have you ever seen that name?
I don't think I have.
We have this guy who comes to all our podcasts, and I think all our YouTube videos as well. And we can't really tell if he's a fan or a hater because he watches every single podcast and video, but then he'll comment like chirps and like try to like shit on us in the comments. Mm-hmm. Which is normal, you know, like people do that, but like we just kind of like ignore whatever, go on with our day. I think we may have talked about him on the podcast, and I don't know if I said like, oh, he's a hater or something, like whatever. Don't remember it. All of a sudden I get a DM from a girl named Cassidy. I'm gonna read.
Oh yes, yep. Okay, now it's ringing a bell. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Let me see. It's in my general. He's not in my primary.
No, he hasn't earned that yet.
No. My things get all backed up. But he essentially was like, didn't know you guys were soft AF. Like, you know, I thought you guys were hockey players. Forgot your generation's a bunch of softies. I'm chirping you on YouTube. Oh, no, he goes, yeah, I'm a hater, ? Forgot you two slap dicks or millennials. You were indoctrinated to be victims. I hope you guys succeed in your journeys, but I told you I gotta chirp you guys to toughen you up. If I was a hater, I'd be going after your family with mean shit, but I'm not. Quit being so sensitive, princess. This guy says to me, I'm like,
wow.
Or well, at the time I'm like, it says Cassidy, so I'm like, what? So I was like, I have absolutely no idea who you are. God bless you. And he replies with, I'm on the res on YouTube. I chirp you guys. I made a YouTube account by accident so I can comment. I chirp a lot of YouTube hockey players. They get it and chirp me back. It's fun. I didn't know you guys were so sensitive. I'm just like, yeah, man, I don't know. Congrats.
Shout out to you on the Cassidy, your viewer of the week. You know, forget about everybody else. Your viewer of the week. Shout out to you, man, or lady, whatever you are.
It got weirder. Because, well, first he said he's a he retired from hockey 21 years ago. So this is like an older guy, just like sitting around. I don't know what he's doing, but I was just like, hey, congrats on a great career. And then he starts telling me about his family. He's like, this is
you got
my
him
daughter.
To care.
Yeah, he's like, my daughter told me about Trav and you. On Facebook, I use my wife's second account, Annie Frank, and my daughter's Instagram account, Cassidy Elliott, 2003. Sends me a picture of his daughter with a snowman. And he's like, I'm digitally, I don't know if I should say this word, but he said it, but I don't know, it's controversial. I'm digitally retarded. That's why they are scattered across the internet. I'm just like, oh, thank you. Thank you for sharing. Happy for you, man. Happy for you. So on the res, confused as fuck with him. I don't know if he's a man, a woman. I don't know. But
I love it.
I just thought I'd share that. That's confusing.
I think that's so great that you have a guy that's just constantly chirping you, but you guys get the W because you guys are getting the views and racking in the money from this. So there's no, like, you guys win this hands down, and I love it. I wish I had more people chirping me.
Well, if we could dive into that just for a quick second, like, and most of today's podcast is going to be influencing, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube focus, but Pat and I have talked about this so many times in the past couple months, especially since starting the podcast. Like, your number one goal as somebody on YouTube, on TikTok, and anywhere is you need somebody to care. If you come and you watch my TikTok, my Instagram reel, my YouTube video, and you leave and you're like, meh, like, that is the ultimate loss. If you come and you care in the sense of you leave a nasty comment, you leave a really positive comment, and you love me or you hate, like, if you do anything that is not just feeling meh and leaving, it's a win because you got somebody to feel something, and that's the ultimate influence, right? That's what you aim to do when you're on social media. You want to influence somebody positively, preferably, but negatively as well works as also.
It is the goal. I mean, I think with that, a guy like that, you're influencing him in a positive way. He's entertained and he's just he wants to like get involved and get attention back from us. Like he wants to interact with us, and whether he's doing that through a compliment where we reply and say thank you, or he's trying to chirp us and we reply with like a, F you buddy.
Thank you as well.
Shit.
Oh
yeah.
That's why I reply to all the comments and not you. Thank you. God bless.
Well, I typically, if someone chirps, I just ignore it. Okay. Cause it's like, I know that all they want is an answer. If they're chirping me and I'm like, I just don't give it to them. I'm like, carry on. Feel free to chirp me, but I don't care.
But there's your golden opportunity to turn them over, though. Like you can take that negative, turn it into a positive, and get them to be viewer of the week.
Yeah, but they'll just continue. They'll continue to comment, looking for me to reply, and then I just, keep doing my thing. Well,
you got to kill them with kindness. You got to hit them with that big heart.
I'd love to hear Nick's take on how to deal with a hater. I'm sure because TikTok has if your video pops on TikTok, there is a whole depending on what audience it hits, there's a whole variety of people in the comment section that love it, hate it, shit on you. Like how do you deal with someone that's commenting negatively?
Honestly, I've been very lucky in the sense that I don't get chirped too often, so that's why I'm kind of hungry for it. I kind of embrace it a little bit when I do. But most of the time it's like, buddy, you suck. Why are you posting this? And it's just like, guy, I'm playing D Division Beer League. Yeah. I know I suck. Like most of the time when that's all it is. It's like a you suck comment. You realize you suck, right? Yeah. And I go, yeah, and then nothing. Like they don't. It's just like, yeah, I know I suck. Like I feel like I'm hard to chirp in that way. But like if you actually comment on the videos, like, oh, your video is a bit noisy right now, that's what's gonna hurt me more.
You know, production quality sucks.
Production quality sucks. That's what's gonna strike me. It's like, oh, how dare you?
I put hours into this.
I care about this. I color corrected this GoPro footage for 3 hours before I posted it.
Yeah, but that's funny though, because it's like you're not claiming to be anything other than someone who's playing beer league and just loving hockey. You're not claiming to be anything more than it, which is kind of funny that they'll try to be like, you suck. Like,
yeah, it's either you suck, or something like that, and then I either just go or I start laughing at it, and then they just get so confused. Like, wait, he's not butthurt about it, and it's like, no, it's. I'm gonna take the W here, boys.
Yeah, people are
chalk one up.
Are weird.
Sorry,
well, I loved that pause. I don't know. I was enjoying the pause. It was. We had an awkward silence. That was.
I thought I heard something because I saw Trav's lips move, but I didn't quite hear it. So
I thought so too.
Chalk one up. I said chalk one up. Oh yeah. My bad.
I was just I was waiting for him to carry on and nothing happened.
Good. So for the video version of the podcast, I always look a little bit off to the right of the camera. It's not as like a powerful of a conversation if I'm not looking at you. So I look off to the wall and I hear this awkward silence, and I'm just thinking to myself, shit, I forgot to pay the Wi-Fi bill. Damn it. I think they cut me off. Oh no, they're back. We're good.
That's damn beautiful.
So we're good.
Trav, for TikTok, do you deal with much hate, or is yours pretty positive on TikTok? Because you're now doing similar style videos to Nick on TikTok with like the in the net camera.
I mean, Nick's videos are, at least in my opinion, just like happy-go-lucky. Like, I love the game. Let's see what happens when I put this video out. Mine are like more like specifically targeted for like hitting certain things, if that makes sense. And I hope it doesn't like come across the wrong way to you, Nick. But like, I think they're slightly different. And it's a lot easier to get behind a guy who's just like happy-go-lucky, all that kind of stuff, as opposed to like when maybe I'm like losing my shit or like any of that kind of stuff. But there are. I feel like the haters that come from YouTube, they come anywhere, and they'll be on TikTok, they'll find me on Instagram. Oh, they care. They go wherever I go.
Yeah, no, I with Trav's TikTok, like they're very educational. Where mine is just stupid, like out of position, like desperado, dumb things on the ice. Where Trav's is just like super important and like they're super informative and it's just cool to see the life of a pro hockey player, traveling and kind of vlog style, where mine's just the same thing over and over again. So that's kind of where
I would disagree though. I think yours are more like aimed at having fun. Like you're having fun on the ice. You make a nasty save here and there. You mix that in with some colorful commentary. Dude, the best thing I think you've ever posted, and I'm not kidding, I literally crapped my diaper. I had to change my shorts after I watched it. When you went to stop the puck behind the net, and you look like you're about to just rim it as hard as you can off the glass, and you just put a little soft backhand about 3 feet behind you. You're like, oops. I literally shit my pants.
Oh yeah, like to keep it interesting out there. Sometimes I intentionally get myself in sticky situations because I know it might be like comedy gold, and yeah, I think that was one of the cases.
Yeah, that was a good one, dude. That was a good one. Maybe another thing that we're talking about too is like sponsorships and whatnot, because one of us in the podcast, I'll give you a hint, it's not me and it's not the guy in Vancouver, have been raking it in recently. Couple sponsorships, kids doing hot. So we're all a couple recently, yeah. And obviously Nick had a pretty big sponsorship a while ago. Hair Club, Supercuts,
Great Clips.
Yeah, Great Clips.
Ooh,
so
you had great clips.
He's got a better haircut than me. You can tell. Look at that salad on the screen.
It's a good one.
Yeah,
but like, I want to talk about the sponsorship side of things. Like when they reach out to you, you negotiate, you get the stuff done, you post it out, and all that kind of stuff. Your experience with sponsors and working with companies.
Sorry, my experience or Pat's?
Yours. No.
Okay.
We talk about Pat every week. Let's talk about you.
Okay. Yeah, so I was actually kind of hoping you guys would bring this up because I really liked your guys' take a couple podcasts ago about the whole you got to invest in the creator and not just give them free stuff. That really kind of struck a chord with me, and I didn't really think of it that way. So my first ever brand deal was with Great Clips, and they wanted a TikTok and an Instagram video, and they're like, send us a media kit, and I was like, I don't know what a media kit is. So I reached out to a lady that connects brands with NHL players that I've met through doing this whole Nick the Goalie thing, and she's like, oh yeah, send me your analytics and all that, and we'll get it rolling. And she came up with a price. I sent it over to them, and they said, yeah, no problem. I was shocked that they said yes to what I charged. But yeah, the whole, I haven't had too many brand deals yet. A couple of the free, could you do a video for us if we give you a free this sort of thing, which I think I've agreed with myself just to do until the end of the year. Coming into the new year, I'd like to have, even if it is you get a little commission or something, I would like to have something more upfront, like you guys were talking about before. I think that just makes sense. And also, I don't want to bombard my audience with ads all the time too. So I kind of, and with my job, I don't necessarily need the brand deal money. So I think I'm going to make them pay for it come the year if they want an ad.
Oh, that's a flex for that. I got so much money, I don't even need the ads. I got a real job, unlike you guys.
Well, no, unlike you guys, because you have making the hockey videos is your only income, I believe, right?
Yes, unfortunately it is.
Yeah, so because I work in broadcast television, that's my main source of income. I don't necessarily need the Nick the Goalie money, but all proceeds are going to my my rink that I make one day, so don't need it. But at the same time, I really care about my audience, and I just don't want to bombard them with ads all the time.
I feel yeah. I'm personally in like a hybrid. Like I'm on a rookie coast deal, which is not the highest paying hockey job, but then I try to mix it in. So if I get a good sponsor, I'm always excited for the extra money per week. But I definitely personally will try to I try to say no if they're just trying to use me and kind of be like, hey, we'll give you commission on a product if you promote it or blah blah blah. And I'm like, listen, the sponsor, I charge X amount, which is nothing crazy, and I think it's just about knowing your worth. Like you have to know like a company is gonna try to take advantage of you. Like they want free ads, they want ads at the cheapest rate, and if they can get away with going to a YouTuber or Instagram or TikToker with whatever X amount of thousands of followers for pretty much saying, hey, we'll give you part of commission, they're laughing. So they're obviously going to try and do it. But I think for us, it's important to just, stand your ground and they'll come. So.
Agreed.
Well, and like you said, you have like a certain value to it. Like, Gurdeep out in India reaching out saying, hey, I got these socks made of donkey fur that I'll send you 6 pairs and I'll give you 2% commission. Like, first off, Gurdeep, I'm not going to sell any of your socks. 2% is a terrible deal on commission. You ain't even paying up front. Like if you sell no, donkey fur socks, you're getting $0, zero, not one dime, as opposed to like the bigger companies. Like I know, I think you could put Manscaped in the category of companies that are kind of like all over social media, but like they know if you want good advertising, good marketing, you have to pay good money. Like you can't bargain bin shop for advertising and whatnot, and all the companies too. Like Raid Shadow Legends, the NordVPNs. Am I missing any other companies out there that are like really kind of out there?
Lately, MyBookie.
MyBookie. Oh yeah, our favorite
MyBookie's
vegan
been
has
everywhere.
one of those too.
Yeah, I got them for a month, and I think that was it. Because I mean, let's be honest. It is hard to sell a gambling website like
To kids.
to
Kids,
a bunch of
exactly.
like a bunch of high schoolers who one are on their parents' credit card or whatever.
Hold on. Now, listen, Derek, I know you're in grade 10, but here's what you're going to do. You're going to go tonight into your mother's purse. You're going to lift her credit card, right? You see that code in the back, that code, that 234? You need that to access the card. You're going to put it on the website, take out some money, and you're going to get rich gambling. Mom's going to shit her diaper the next day, but
they're not.
Could make a lot of money.
Fine. You know what else was tough about it too is it is a legitimate website. Obviously, like a lot of the like UFC fighters and athletes are now like promoting it. But the thing that made it tough too is like a couple of my buddies like on my team like yeah I'll help you out. I'll go on and bet on like whatever, and they go on and then they go to get the put their debit card in to get like the double deposit, and then like their bank thinks it's suspicious and stuff. So it's like it adds a whole problem. And then once someone's like they just don't care enough to call the bank and go through it. So it becomes hard to sell. But I mean, if you guys did use it, it was supposed to work. Well,
and I think too, you have to look at the audience's like takeaway. Like no matter what company you're doing, if it's a gambling website, especially like the audience, whatever they're looking at it. Okay, are they going to buy it? No. Okay, well, am I going to piss them off with the ads? Well, if I keep hammering them for 2 minutes for the next 5 videos, yeah, they might leave and say, I don't want to listen to gambling ads. I want the vlog or the TikTok or whatever that I came for. So that happy medium is so hard to find to keep people happy. But while we got you here, and speaking of Nick's great clips, let's talk about a great little clip for the boys downstairs. Big Al and the fellas. Manscaped, our presenting sponsor for the podcast, as they do every week. Pat Shea, as you can tell, is looking really big. It's looking stacked. Extra thick and juicy this week, like a Juicy Lucy. Hey. Triple cheese under that black long sleeve on the video version. If you're in the car or in the AirPods, you can't see it. Take me at face value here, folks. He looks good. He looks good because he's trimmed, he's shaven, and he's shaking with the Manscaped lawnmower. Pat, tell him about it. What? Come on, I'm complimenting you.
Travis.
It's Christmas.
No, I'm blushing. Thank you.
It's Christmas. Come on.
Thank you.
You look good.
No, I did shave recently on my chest. It feels good. I feel loose right before Christmas. I was up in Canada, Trav's homeland, and I think Nick's homeland too, and I was pretty hairy because it was cold up there. It's colder, obviously. I was just keeping that fur, and then as I was like, okay, I'm coming home for Christmas and going down south. I was like, I need to get rid of this fur. I'm going to start sweating. So obviously I just grabbed the Manscaped on the bus and just started shaving down in the middle of the bus. And you just kind of put like a bag in front of you, and all the hairs will go into the bag, and you just throw it out after. But
actually, if I could cut you off for a sec, the lawnmower kit comes with that little newspaper. That's the mat. You put that under you. So let's say, you're Pat Shea, you play for the Maine Mariners, you're on a road trip. Guess what? You pull out the mat, you put it on the floor of the bus, and you just let go, hit the mat. You pick up the mat, and boom, throw it in the bin. You're good to go on the bus. You're ready for the next game, a 3-3, and you're feeling light, and you're feeling confident, and you look good as Pat. Nick looks good too, but not as good as Pat because Pat's been lawnmowing for a little bit longer than him, so he's got a little bit of catch up to do. But you can join the club too. You go to manscaped.com. There is a link in the video description and in the podcast notes on the audio version. A link again is for the video version on YouTube, and use promo code BIZKIT, BIZ or Z KIT, BIZKIT. No 69, just Bizkit, BIZKIT. You get 20% off, free shipping. Pat will give you a slap on the back end on the derriere and send your order out the door with a smile.
It's a great Christmas gift. Really great Christmas gift.
It is the 100%. Gift that keeps on giving. It is the gift that gives another gift to your loved one. Valentine's Day is coming up right around the corner. New year, new me. You want to impress her? You want to give her the bone hammer on date night? That's what you got to do. You got to trim the trees and the grass. Or no, you trim the grass. The trees look bigger. Sorry. That was backwards. You don't want a bush. You want to avoid that at all costs.
You trim the bush around your deck. That's what you do.
Yes. Exactly. So make someone's holiday this year and get them the Manscaped
or yours
lawnmower. Or yourself. Treat yourself.
Yeah, maybe you're single. Maybe, Pamela Anderson. Maybe give her a little treat. Maybe, spoil her. Anyway, thanks to Manscaped as always for sponsoring the podcast. Back to our programming. One of the things that amazes me the most about Nick is that he's probably the best cinematographer on the entire hockey realm. I'm serious. Everybody knows Nick is the guy making the TikToks and the reels, putting them out on there, having fun with the GoPro style hockey. But the dude's cinematography is next level. You can see on the video version that background he's got. His cinematography blows me out of the water, Pat out of the water. Any creator in the community, Nick is at the top of the leaderboard. So, do you want to talk a little bit about that and how I guess your career in media broadcast and whatnot kind of carried over to NickTheGoalie, shall we say?
Yeah, pretty much. So I was always a huge camera nerd growing up. My dad actually was a cameraman for 25 years. It did lots and lots of hockey and has done so much playoff hockey. And it's just I've always been drawn to the camera, and I got my first DSLR in grade 12. And how it kind of all started was I did a lot of BMX, and my friends and I was like, oh, we want to make an edit, but we don't have a camera. And I was like, you know what, it's about time I get a camera. So got the camera, shot the edit, and then it just kind of grew from there. Had a BMX channel for a while, which did really well. It was kind of like a vlog style BMX, just hanging out with the guys at the skate park and whatnot. And then you just kind of start diving into other things with it. It was kind of harder to make the BMX videos, so now we did kind of similar to Pat with skits. I met a couple guys that they're so creative. If they had a chance to, an opportunity to be noticed, they would do so well, because those guys are hilarious. So it kind of went to the skits for a bit. We entered a couple film contests, came second twice for a couple of our films, which was great. And just a lot of Peter McKinnon, a lot of Matty Hapoya on YouTube, Daniel Schiffer, and just watching and learning and trial and error, and then just kind of brought it to the hockey world, because I was like, you know what? I think a good mix for the YouTube would be kind of doing kind of what Peter McKinnon did, but with hockey, with just the nice cinematic B-roll. That's kind of what I wanted to implement in my videos.
And you've been texting me about this the last couple months a little bit about how it doesn't really do as well for you. Do you think there's a reason why the cinematography hasn't, I guess, kind of popped for you in the same way that the organic GoPro hockey videos have, and why those have, and versus the cinematography back and forth?
Personality. It's so weird, because I'm such a shy and awkward person until I get into my goalie gear, and I can't tell you what it is, but Trav's met me in person before, and I'm a shy, quiet person for the most part, which people find very, very hard to believe coming from my TikToks, but it's true. And I tried doing the photo video YouTube channel before and just couldn't do it. It was just too awkward. And I thought, you know what? I think I'm a bit more funny in goalie gear. Let's give that a try. And obviously it's doing well. So.
Well, I guess two thoughts on that. The first was, when I first came across your stuff and I had no idea who you are, I'm like, man, this guy needs to be medicated, I think. This is a little bit concerning that these things are coming out of his mouth. He's making high-pitched squeals and screams and whatnot. And then also, when I, I've met Nick in person, how many times we met? Probably 3 or 4 different times in Vancouver? Yeah. And every time, I just think to myself, when Nick tells me, he's like, I'm not very good in front of the camera, I'm like, put the goalie gear on at home, film the talking headshot.
I honestly think that's the answer. I really do. I got to give it a go.
Somebody walks in on you what? I'm not even going to ask what you're doing. Have fun, Nick. Talk to you later.
Yeah.
That's kind of, it can be frustrating, I feel like, because as a video creator, we know how much goes into making a cinematic video of especially if you of yours, how much goes into it, and how much skill it takes to edit it, to film it, etc. And we can appreciate it. So if we're watching your YouTube video, we're like, wow, this is really cool. He did really well with this. But versus the average viewer, it can be frustrating, because they're they have no idea. They're just oh yeah, video. where's the talking, like where's the talking part? Like it can be frustrating, I feel like, with YouTube, because it's like they don't care or understand how much goes into that part of it, even though it looks so cool to like the guy who made the video, versus like on like TikTok, it's just all like short attention spans, and they love like the personality, or like even in a YouTube video, they're just like trying to look for like personality or like connect to someone. But have you found like frustration in that?
Yeah, I think so. I think what I'm most frustrated about is just not consistently posting to YouTube. I feel like I could be doing so much more, but just my work schedule is just taking a lot out of me, and it's just so much easier to do TikTok because it doesn't take as long to do, I guess, if that makes sense. But yeah, I find it a little frustrating, 'cause sometimes just playing it back, and it's just like, oh, why can't I, have that personality out on the ice when just doing a normal talking headshot, and just haven't figured that out yet.
That is kind of funny. You like come alive in the goalie gear. That is interesting. Like so like when you're vlogging or something, like you even if you're by yourself, you'll struggle to have that same like, I don't know, like outgoing like personality that you do as when you're in the goalie gear on the ice.
Yeah, heart's racing a million miles a minute and a million beats a minute, and I have a little studio set up in the basement. I shoot late at night when there's nobody up, so I can I just want to be as comfortable as possible, and
for sure.
Yeah, that's why I haven't really dabbled in the vlog stuff too much, because it's just, I don't know, my heart would just explode if I brought the DSLR out and the Gorilla Pod, and although that's what I really want to do on the inside, but I just haven't been able to commit to doing that yet.
You know what? That just got me thinking for a sec. Somebody, I can't remember, somebody was asking, it might have been Nick, it might have been somebody else texting me about it, but somebody was asking me about like carrying the camera out and about in public, like actually like vlogging like in front of people, like does it make you nervous, whatnot? And I realized this year in Sweden, I was like, when I vlog in public, my my tripod, my camera, my mic are literally a advertising billboard for myself. Like when you pull out that camera, everybody stops and they pay attention to what you're doing. They're like, what is this guy doing? I want to see what he's going to do next. And they pay attention. You finish your your spiel to the camera, and then they talk to you, and then you market yourself. Like there was the every time I go to like an SHL game in Sweden and I have my camera, people recognize me, people talk to me, whatnot, left, right, and center. But I think the best one that I had this year was when I went to the Team of Sweden, Team Finland World Junior Previous Series game with my boy Wallstead and Callie Klang. Shout out to those guys coming on the podcast. Having the camera itself out, people are like, oh, well, what do you do? Oh, I make YouTube videos. Really, what's it called? And then I show them the channel, they subscribe, and they're watching every video now. Like my camera is my walking billboard everywhere I go, as opposed to being like, oh, I'm kind of scared to do this. What are people going to think? Like, everybody's going to have an opinion. Like, it doesn't really matter what people think. Just,
Yeah, but it's also easier said than done. Like, because
I don't care,
No, exactly. But it's tough. It's tough. Like, I can relate to what Nick is saying, because it's like I'll struggle with doing that too. Like, even if I'm just sitting, I'm doing like a sit down talking to the camera type thing. Like, I'm somebody who lets loose on camera too. Like, I'll just like drop the filter and ramble things, and whatever I'll watch back, I'm like, whatever I think is funny or like comes that's like good after, I'm like, I'm included. If I say something stupid, or I'll just delete it or whatever, like clip it out. But it's tough too, because like I know that I'm gonna say some like nonsense, and if someone's like in the other room, like listening to me talking to the camera by myself, like spewing nonsense, like there's always like a thought in my head. I'm like kind of like a little uncomfortable. Like, okay, like can you just off for like 10 minutes so I can just be an idiot, like but no, I can relate to that, and I think a lot of people can relate to that. There's a lot of people who DM me or like want to start a vlog, and they're like, hey, how do you do it? I'm like, no, honestly, it's kind of hard. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, like you pull a camera out in front of a team, like especially if you're not like one of the loud guys in the team, it can be hard if everyone's like then going up to you, oh, the camera's out, oh camera, like, and especially if they're awkward in front of the camera and they're like kind of like freeze up with you with the camera, it creates like a little anxiety inside of your own head and stuff, and you kind of have to just you have to kind of block it out and do the best you can to just block out everyone around you and kind of focus on what you're saying and doing. And it's definitely a difficult challenge for sure. Maybe easier for someone like Trav.
Oh, sorry. Light bulb just clicked off. You know who it was? It was Creeper Lakenda who was messaging me about that. He was telling me the exact same thing. He's like, I'm trying to vlog. I have a hard time like pulling out the camera in public. Like I don't want to vlog in front of the guys. Like, I don't film as much as I want to, but I don't have the clips. I want to film, but I don't. Like it's a very interesting balance. Like I'll say with my endeavor in Norway, my goal was to be like as sneaky as possible. Like the guys will not notice that I have the cameras, and like a couple of them were asking me after skates, like, where are the cameras? Like, I haven't seen you have any cameras all week, like out at the rink, in the rink, and whatnot. I'm like, that's the goal. You're gonna have no idea that I'm doing it, and then it's just gonna magically pop up on YouTube. You're like, that's where they were. In the rafters.
So you're hiding cameras. Yeah, that's one way to do it. It's, I always thought too would be an easier way is just, but obviously it's not ideal, like realistic when you're not making a ton of money. But it's like, if you just had someone filming you rather than you being the guy holding the camera talking to yourself, there's something like less anxious and less stressful about if someone was just following you around during your day and you can just talk and do your normal thing and they're filming it. Because when you have full control and have to create the whole storyline of, with your talking to the camera, it becomes more difficult, I guess, which... It's just part of it. And it's like, if you want to do it, it's something you have to overcome or learn to deal with. But again, easier said than done, as is a reason why a lot of people don't do it.
I mean, that's a big expense though, no? Like to have an editor, to have a camera guy, to add all these positions, like it's an expense. And especially when you're in a niche of a niche, like, three of us are, like, that's something like I can't afford, Pat can't afford. Like for when I was in Norway, like the media guy, he took all my cameras. Like he's like, I'll set them up for you, I'll take care of them, so you can just focus on playing. And I'm like, this is so nice.
That's
what
awesome.
a beauty.
I gave him the cameras when I walked in, and I didn't pick them up until after. And I'm like, where'd you put them? He's like, oh, I don't know if you like the angle. I'm like, if you did it and I didn't have to, it's gonna be great. I will make it work. And it's not as good as putting cameras on the ice and whatnot, but it is just so nice to not have to deal with them.
Yeah. You need that.
Speaking of dealing with people, I wanted to talk to Nick about his job with the media company that he works with. And we said we're not going to specify this media company. We were talking right before we started recording about some of the staff and just like in the hockey community, in just, I think anywhere where there's some clout involved, if that makes sense. Like when you have a following, there comes an ego, I'm holier than thou, like... It drives me, and well, me specifically, and maybe not as much with Pat, but it drives me nuts because, like, if you act like that all the time, nobody's going to want anything to do with you one day, like when you're not important anymore, when nobody cares about you. And like Nick deals with these types of people all the time. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so basically for my job, I don't work for a certain, I get contracted out to different media companies. So that's basically what I do. And there's always this certain bunch that just, I don't know, they just kind of rub me the wrong way. They always think, we're top dog, even though in my personal opinion, and I don't think they're top at all, but it gets a little annoying at times seeing it. It's just be cool about it, like just be happy to be here, and don't be like, oh, I'm the best, or because I'm on this show or whatever. That's I deal with that a little bit, and it's a bit annoying.
Would you agree though, like when you meet one of those big dogs, whether, and again, we're not specifying companies, but like if you meet a big dog at TSN, at the NHL Network, at Sportsnet, whatever, like, and they treat you like hey, how's it going? And they're talking like they've known you for 20 years. Like, it's just the most humbling feeling. It's like, this dude actually cares. Like, he's not big dogging me. He's making the time. He probably doesn't care, but at least he's making me feel like I'm worth his time, as opposed to the opposite. Like when you do the opposite and you big league somebody, it's like, man, like it's the most worthless feeling in the world. Like somebody doesn't even value enough to give you 5 seconds.
Don Cherry, great guy.
I thought you were gonna say he's a bad guy. I was like, no.
Great guy.
No, that's awesome.
I've met Don twice, and he's given me time. We talked hockey, and great guy. Obviously had the controversial stuff on Hockey Night, but which kind of ended his career a bit. But this was when I met him. This was like 2013, 2014, and it was really cool to talk to a guy I see on TV every Saturday night, and he's giving me the time of day, and we're just talking hockey. It was pretty sweet.
I got to give a quick shout out to my dad. My dad's idol is like Don Cherry. He has all the Don Cherry DVDs. Like he's gonna be calling me after years. It's like, son, he knew Don Cherry. Yeah, Dad, he worked with Don Cherry. He loves
Don.
grapes.
I got my first ever job was called a runner, and I got to give Ron and Don coffees. That was my job. Make sure.
What do they take? How do they take it?
Oh, I don't remember. This was years ago, but yeah, no, they're both great guys.
I find it amazing how like he made that same speech every day, or sorry, every year on the Remembrance Day for like 30 years, and finally, like, it was just the one time was enough. You people was enough to get him fired.
Yeah, it's crazy. I still feel like a bit of hockey night is kind of missing without him. If you loved him or you hate him, but he's just, I don't know. Just growing up, always seeing the crazy suits every Saturday night, and
the suit game was so tight. Listen, Passy Campbell, Cassie, I don't even know what her name is, man. She is not cutting it. Like, just any of the I guess the replacements to fill Coach's corner, like, it's not Don Cherry. Like, Don Cherry is Hockey Night in Canada on a Saturday night. At
that point, you just got to do something entirely new. You can't be beating the same dead horse, I guess, trying to make it work, in my opinion. But
is that a pun because he's like 80 years old?
No, just the Coach's corner thing. Like, you gotta cut it, do something entirely new. Thank God they got BX on there. That's all I have to say.
Oh, he's a lifesaver.
Do you think
he is such a? Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, enough about me talking, Pat.
Well, yeah, I was just gonna say, like, do you think age has something to do with that? Like Don being so down to earth, like, he found success after when he was a bit older versus someone who is young. Like, from my experience, like, I think it's true. If someone finds success or fame even like too early in their life, they don't know how to deal with it, and they'll think they have like a different mindset on it versus like someone who finds it later in life. They know that. Sorry, I'm like tweaking with my eyes here. They know that I was getting the light in my eyes. I was watering, but they'll understand like what it kind of means to be human. I guess like they've gone through more struggle and failure versus someone who kind of pops in, like, I don't know, in their teens. Or say, like, use like a TikToker as an example who just pops in their teens for being good looking, and they'll kind of miss that, like, what it means to like struggle and be human. They'll kind of hold it over you like they're better than you, versus someone like, I don't know, like Don's not like, famous in the grand scheme of the world, but in the hockey world he's very much so. He finds it later after years, so he has more of an understanding of like, I'm not better than anyone. I just kept grinding and eventually cracked and got to where I am now. Do you think the age has something to do with it?
Yeah, it's possible. But at the same time, I feel like anybody, it's just respect at the end of the day. And, like, these moments will like stick with you forever. If you just give, if you're a personality and you give somebody just a couple minutes of your time, that stuff they'll always remember, like the whole Trav and Marc-Andre Fleury thing. Like,
is that a sponsorship deal, Nick? Is your agent calling?
No, I wish.
Rage Shadow Legends. Nick's got to leave the podcast.
Yeah.
He's got a new deal coming.
Yeah, I know. We got this phone from Costco that won't shut up. I'm sorry.
You want to answer it? Answer it on the podcast. He was calling.
Yeah, I have no idea, but it reads out who's calling right now. I don't know.
Who's calling? Who's calling? We want to know. Is it the milkman?
Great clips.
We want our money back. This ad sucked.
Oh man. But yeah, here's
there we go.
Oh no, dude, you got to send me that picture. We'll put it on the screen for the video version.
Yeah, okay.
That's a wicked pick. My dad's gonna love
beauty.
that. My dad's gonna call me about this and the Don Cherry stuff. My dad loves Don Cherry. He listens every week to you. My dad listens like for within the first hour it's up. He's already calling me, son. I like this. I didn't like that.
Right.
No, he's a day one. My mom tells me, he's like, I have a life. I can't listen to your podcast every week. Although my mom did listen to Ilya Brizgalov and said she loved it. She loved Briz.
There we go.
Shout out mom, shout out dad. Both of them listen.
How excited were you guys to find out that he was coming on the pod?
That was cool because when we were kids, he popped off at the universe, humongous big, So like that was pretty cool because I don't know, like 12 years old. So obviously at that age, the NHL players are the coolest people in the world. So to have someone like that come on was definitely pretty cool.
Dude, honestly, I thought like it didn't really click in for me right away. I thought the coolest part was just like Ilya Bryzgalov as a kid, and like in my mind, I'm thinking this kid has like all the assets in the world. Like, you know, Vlad Bryzgalov, you know, shout out, he's gonna play for the U.S. National Development Program next. Like, this kid's, dude, that kid's gonna be a stud, and he's got all the resources. His dad played in the show, you know, won a cup, gold medal at the, or sorry, we played in the Olympics. My bad. And the dude watches my vlogs, messages me for, you know, 6 months, a year, whatever. I may have big dogged him once or twice, just like I forgot to reply in that sense. So I apologize in advance to a lot of people. Sometimes I just forget to reply, but he's just like, dude, I love the vlog. And I'm like, you related to Ilya? He's like, yep, that's my dad. I'm like, can you come on the podcast? Yeah, sure, no problem. Like, and his dad doesn't like doing podcasts, but because his son, I guess, watches the vlog, like, we got him on. So like, just like, it's very humbling that somebody of that stature like will make time for you, and then also like he's raising a kid that isn't big dogging you either. It's just like a nice kid. Like Vlad messaged me after the podcast. He's like, tell Pat too, if you guys need anything from me or my dad, let me know. We're always happy to help. Like, just nice stand-up people.
Good people. Yeah, you love to see that.
Yeah,
just respectful.
Always good to see. Breath of fresh air, for sure.
Very, very rare this day and age.
Oh, yeah.
Nick has had TikToks and Reels that have hit millions of views on multiple occasions. I think the recent one you had on Instagram had like 3 million views. What is your secret to success, Nick, for popping off and getting, like, seriously, because you have 20-something thousand followers and you're hitting 3 million views, 2 million views. Clearly you did something. I'd like to think you're a smart guy, I hope, and you know what you're doing. Like, how did those take off? That's the last thing we'll finish with today.
I wish I had an answer for you. I really do. Yeah, I just heard, or I focused a lot of my attention on TikTok. And then once I got a couple of shout outs, you know, the Instagram just kind of started to grow a little bit, which was super, super helpful. And Trav, you're one of those guys, so thank you.
No problem, buddy.
But I heard, that the Reels were the way to go. And I said, you know what, I guess I can cut down on the TikToks, because the Reels only let you do 30 seconds, which just kills me. There's just so much I have to cut out, because I don't want to make a long version for TikTok and then another version for Instagram and whatever. I just want to kind of post them the same, but without the TikTok watermark, because that I hear that's what kind of brings the views down if you take the video from TikTok with the watermark and just post it to Reels.
Definitely does.
So I make the same video, upload it to TikTok, upload it to Reels, and yeah, Instagram's really wanting to compete with TikTok, it seems. So just got to get on board with the Reels, and just be patient with it. Just keep posting, and if it's good, people, you know, if you build it, they'll come.
Yeah.
Dude, me and Pat were talking about this like a couple weeks ago, but like the whole, like, if you repost a TikTok watermark video on Instagram, they'll bury you. And I found this app that just, like, you put the TikTok link in, it'll download the video without the watermark. I don't know if you found it, Pat. Ever since I started doing that, my views have been right through the roof since I got rid of the watermark.
Yeah, I'm similar to Nick, where I'll make the file and then put the file onto TikTok and to IG Reels. That is a good strategy for someone who makes their videos inside the TikTok app, because like then they don't have the file elsewhere. That's a lifesaver for someone like that. Like, there's a lot of TikTokers who make their videos inside the app and then they'll download it and post their reel with the watermark and not have the same success on IG Reels. And I think that's a huge reason why. So if you're one of those guys that just happens to be listening to this, which probably is not many of you, just use Trav's little hack there and use the website to download the video without the watermark.
Yeah, I gotta ask, Nick, do you edit in the TikTok app or do you use Final Cut to make them?
If you asked me how you edit in TikTok, I couldn't tell you. Everything's Final Cut for me. It's my safe space. It's my home. I know how to use it. I know how to get what I want out of it. So I just and they just came up with the new firmware upgrade or whatever that you can have your Instagram aspect ratios, so you don't have to type it in manually like I used to do, and works like a charm, because you just especially if you're on the Apple system. That's why I love Apple products so much. You export the video to your desktop, you airdrop it to your phone, you post it on TikTok, you post it on Instagram, call it a day.
Dude, honestly, like, so Rob from Bud Ends, our boy Rob Lalonde, I have spent lots of many days with this man, and I have seen him and I go into coffee shops and not leave for 4 hours because he just edits everything in the TikTok app, and he'll just be there for like 4 hours. He won't move. He won't go to get a new coffee. He won't go to take a piss, go to take a dump. He'll just sit there and just edit for hours on hours. And I'm like, dude, how do you do it? Like, how do you have the patience for this TikTok app? Like, I'm the same way as you, and I'm assuming Pat is too. Just you bang it out in Final Cut, desktop, or the downloads, airdrop it to your phone. Boom. I do everything in the TikTok then. I plug it in, post it, copy the caption, copy the link, re-download it, and then post a TikTok video on Instagram, and then rolling. So shout out to Rob for all the work that he does.
Shout out to Rob. What a beauty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's an OG, man. That guy grinds.
Yeah, I respect how much content he puts out on a daily basis. Like I can't live up to that. That's insane. He's crazy. Love it.
And his grind of note, selling.
He calls me the other day. He's like, bro, I posted a video. It only got like 50K. Like, what the hell? I'm like, only got 50K. You're doing fine. You're fine. He's like, my last couple got like 3 million.
No, that 50K is a very successful video.
It's a good number. I kind of want to ask you guys your opinions on this. What would you consider, personally for you guys, a viral video? Like, what's the view count? Like, for me personally, I say it's double the followers for it to be viral. That's what I think. But I'm
and keep in mind, we have about 3 minutes or less before we gotta shut her down here.
Okay, copy that.
Yep. Pat, you want to go?
Yeah, no, I mean, if you're doubling your followers, 100% viral. If you're getting more views than followers, that's like a super successful video in my eyes. Because like if typically when you get a certain amount of followers, you'll get less views, but you'll like have a view number that's like a successful video, and you're like, okay, like if you get 50,000 views, you're like, that's really successful. But if you have 50,000 followers and you get 100,000 views, I'd say I could consider that in your own right viral.
I would say 1 million. I like, in my mind, whenever I post, if it doesn't hit 1 million views, it's not viral. Like, I've had one TikTok hit 1 million. I've had one YouTube video hit 1 million.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't think anything else I posted would qualify as viral.
I think TikTok and YouTube is different viral numbers. Like TikTok, 1 million, I'd say is safe, but like YouTube's different, because if you get 1 million views on YouTube, I think it's way more meaningful and powerful than 1 million views on TikTok.
Dude, it is so hard to get that, like 1 million on YouTube. I will never get 1 million views for the remainder of my time on this planet. But you know what you can get is a new episode of this podcast, Slangin The Bizkit, every Thursday, 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. if you're in Winnipeg, 5 a.m. if you're Nick on the Pacific Coast. You get that time slot. You get the podcast. 2 p.m. in Sweden, 1 p.m. in the UK, 3 p.m. in Finland. I think that's everywhere. And I think 9 p.m. in China. So if you're going to bed in the old China, you can fire up the old podcast machine and give us a listen. I'd like to thank you, as always, Nick the Goalie, our guest for this week. Give him a shout, give him a follow on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Thank you, Pat Shea, for sticking by me. Episode 40 is coming next week, and we will talk to you then. Take us home, Nick. Final words.
Thanks, guys, for having me, and shout out to the guy who's driving the tractor.
Yeah, God bless DoorDash Pete. God bless you, buddy.
Keep dashing, brother.